You're here, right? Well, yes, you are, and we thank you for that. Indeed, this is the Paul Leslie Hour. Let's go right into episode number 1042. We're bringing you an interview with Sonny Joy Nelson, Director of Media and Surrogates on Team Trump. She's checking in from headquarters. Just as a reminder, tomorrow is Election Day. Yes, we can confirm that we are one day from the America's ultimate election. Please, please, please vote. And real quick, please subscribe to Paul's YouTube channel and follow him on X, formerly known as Twitter. And you know what? Why not follow Sonny on Twitter X too? And share this interview with anyone and everyone you can. And with that, we are so pleased to say, can confirm, Sonny Joy Nelson is right here on the Paul Leslie Hour.
Sonny Joy Nelson, what a pleasure to talk to you.
Hello, how are you?
Doing great. I know that it's the day before Election Day, so I can only imagine how busy everything is.
Yes, it is very busy here, but the vibes are very high at headquarters. Everyone's feeling really good, and I can tell you we'd much rather be us than them right now.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. Sonny, I want you to use your imagination for a moment. What would America look like under a Harris presidency?
Well, I can tell you we don't have to imagine very hard because Kamala Harris is no different than Joe Biden, other than she is more radical than him. So, yes, it would be more of the same, but I think it would actually be worse than that because Kamala Harris is so radically liberal that her policies would continue to drag us into the dirt. I believe President Trump has said multiple times that Kamala Harris's economic policies would truly spiral us towards a depression. Her wide open border would allow drugs and migrant crime to continue flooding into our communities, into every single state. You know, we see Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment buildings in Colorado. You know, that's pretty far from the border, but yet these policies that she has have allowed our country to just spiral out of control, and it would not get any better under Kamala Harris. Even though she continues to tie herself to Joe Biden, her policies would be much worse.
Nonstop would be a word to describe you. You're always working. What motivates you in your nonstop work for the Trump campaign?
Nonstop is a good way to put it, but I'm just trying to keep up with my candidate because he is nonstop as well. His family, too. They all are going nonstop, and I think it's truly because they care about America. They love America, and they know the potential that we have. What motivates me personally, well, for me personally, I'm very pro-life, and President Trump has been a pro-life president in the past and candidate. So that's my motivating factor. But beyond that, I have a little boy who is a year old now, and I want a safe, secure America for him to grow up in. I want his playground to be safe. I want his school to be safe. I want him to grow up and have all these economic opportunities that he will not have if we face a depression here in the next few years if Kamala Harris were to go in. Having a child really changes the way you look at the world, and everything just has so much more meaning than it did before. So while I'm working day in and day out to ensure that our next 4 years can be better than the last 4 have been, it really goes beyond the coming 4 years. It really goes into setting my child up for success in his future.
Well, Kamala Harris has put forth this notion that she is the candidate for women, and all of their messaging reflects that. What do you think of that?
I think that is laughable that Kamala Harris is trying to be the candidate for women, especially when her top surrogate, Mark Cuban, just the other day said that any women that support President Trump essentially are weak and dumb. I don't believe that's a winning message for women, especially as Kamala Harris tries to put up this facade that she is a candidate for all Americans, whether you vote for her or not. That's not a winning message. But what Kamala Harris is trying to do is she's trying to ride this abortion wave into the sunset, thinking that that's all that women care about. Well, I can tell you women care about a lot more things other than abortion. Women care about having a strong economy. Women care about having a secure southern border so that our playgrounds and our communities are safe. Women care about our stance on the world stage and making sure that we're not being drug into foreign conflicts and that there are not more wars being started, because we don't want our husbands and our children being drafted off into war. Kamala Harris has a real problem, not only with her base, but also with the other voters that she's trying to get in under her tent, and it's not happening. President Trump continues to add people into his big tent all of the time. We're seeing, his outreach, his gains with voters maybe who have not supported him in the past. And it's because they're so tired of these policies that this administration has implemented for the last 4 years, because they've done nothing but drag us into the dirt.
You've gotten the chance to be around Donald J. Trump and his team. What do you wish more people knew about President Donald Trump?
Oh, what a great question. I mentioned this earlier, but I think it's just his love of country. I think he truly cares about every single voter here. I think he cares about all groups of people, and he wants to look for ways that could be uplifting to all people from all walks of life, whether you're, lower class, middle class, upper class. His economic policies uplift every single person. Remember, when he was in office, we had record low, historic low unemployment across all voter blocks, across all demographics. And it's because he has the knowledge, the experience, the expertise in how to bring our country up to what we can be for us to reach our full potential. And that's something that being around the Trump campaign, the Trump world for the last, 5 or 6 years, as it's been a while. It's really everyone that I work with, they care about the American people. They want to see our country flourish. They want to see us have a secure, sovereign country with strong borders. They want to get us back to being the world superpower that we once were. The whole world looks to America as a beacon of freedom and hope. And with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, we have not been that same beacon of light that we once were. But we will get there, because I'm expecting a huge victory for President Trump tomorrow. I think it's going to be a massive turnout. We've already seen massive turnout in the early voting. In all of these key states that we've been focusing on, we've seen a huge early turnout for Republicans, which is wonderful. But I expect we're going to see even more turnout tomorrow, because people are ready to put President Trump back in the White House.
Is there anything in closing you would say to all of our listeners out there?
Yes. In closing, I would say, please go vote. While we are feeling like we're in a very strong position right now, we're doing great in early voting, as I just mentioned. We cannot become complacent at all. We have to get out and vote. Even if you're listening to this and you have already early voted, that's wonderful, but I bet you know someone who has not voted yet. So I encourage you to, now is the time. Have the uncomfortable conversations with your friends, with your family. There's too much at stake right now. There's too much riding on this election to stay silent. So I encourage you to talk to your friends and family. Say you'll go with them. You'll take them to vote. Offer them a ride, whatever it may be. Just encourage your family and your friends to get out and vote. We have to make this thing too big to rig. So if you're listening, this is my final push to you, is to get out and vote.
And real quick, one very quick question. Is North Carolina Trump country?
Oh, it sure is. I can tell you, my home state went for President Trump in 2016 and in 2020, and I'm predicting we're going to go for President Trump once again this go around, because the great people of North Carolina, especially those that have just been affected by the terrible hurricane that hit the western part of my state, they saw the failure from the federal government and how the federal government would rather give funds from FEMA to illegal immigrants than for our own citizens of our great state. So I think we're going to see a massive turnout in North Carolina for President Trump tomorrow.
There you heard it, folks. Sonny Joy Nelson confirming North Carolina is Trump country. Sonny Joy Nelson, God bless you. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Hey, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. All the best to you.
Thank you.